I've got my paper here going portrait style, and I've got my 3 different thickness markers and pens over here. Not long ago I drew a pirate, and I started with my ballpoint pen. So that's what I'm going to do today for my Viking, because Vikings and pirates kind of have similar energy, I guess. So if I draw a Viking, the first thing I like to do is the helmet. I like to give them that helmet. And you can see I'm doing kind of rounded, wobbly lines, and I'm not really interested in keeping them perfect, nice sharp lines. Vikings were kind of messy people, right? Uncouth. So their lines can be a little shaky, a little wobbly, a little off center, off kilter. So that's going to be my Viking helmet. That's a big part of the Viking character, right? It's that helmet that they wear. And that helmet also sometimes comes down over their faces, kind of like this. Hides part of their face. When I draw Vikings, I hide a big part of their face. I don't even draw their eyes normally. Nice big nose right here. And now comes the fun part. They were hairy folks, those Vikings. So I like to give my Viking a big hairy, out of control beard. Something like that. That's a pretty good Viking beard. And they weren't happy, right? They weren't aggressive. So I'll draw some angry teeth in here. Angry, aggressive Viking teeth. Okay. Now let's start to build this Viking's body. So over here I'm gonna give my Viking some big, kind of burly arms, because this Viking is going to be a mean warrior kind of guy. And I'll have his arms come down here into these big pudgy fists. There we go. Now my Viking's going to have kind of a big squat body. So I'm just going to kind of do a big circle for him right here. And then coming out of this, I'll give him some, some bent squat legs with some boots. Viking boots, so he can go charging off into battle. And there we go. So as you can see, my Viking is pretty wobbly, pretty off kilter, pretty off center. Some of the lines aren't perfect. That's okay. It's almost like I did my rough draft here, and now I can start going back and doing a second draft and getting things the way I want. Some characters just really lend themselves to being kind of loose and messy, and it's totally okay if you want to go back and kind of rework them as you go along. Oh yeah, I forgot my Viking's got to have some crazy Viking hair coming down the back. And a big hairy Viking beast. Okay, let's switch over here now. We'll start putting in some fine details. Mostly I'm really interested in the face for this guy. I just like to put a little kind of shadow down here for the eyes. So you don't even really see the eyes. They're just stuck under the brim of that little helmet. And I'll go ahead and give this mouth another go. Oh, you know what? I totally forgot to do his hair. Well, before I get too carried away, let me go back with my ballpoint pen here. This is a lot of fun, just kind of making your Viking scratchy. Pushing his beard, his mustache, and where you think they should be. Maybe add a little kooky kind of texture to the hair. Ballpoint pens are famous for being smeary, right? So you might actually, when you're doing this, have a big glob that smears on your Viking. But that's okay, because that'll help kind of create the Viking look. That'll help create the whole, messy, uncouth looking character. I'll also just, add a little bit up here on their helmet. On the helmet. Maybe some lines over here on the horns. You know what? Oh man, I might as well just give him a little arm hair. There you go. There you go. Okay. Now I think it's time to move into my big lines. This will allow me to really kind of make my character stand out You'll notice I don't do all the lines, just the lines that I like. Just the lines that I want to keep. Just the lines I want to accentuate and call attention to. So this is almost like doing a second draft, or a third draft, I guess. I don't even know at this point. Lots of drafts. In the beard here, you can see that I'm not following any particular line that I drew before. I'm just doing what I want to do. That's a pretty good Viking face right there. All right, before I go too much further, I kind of want to give this guy some kind of gear, right? Like he's running off into battle. He should have a bandolier, stretching across his back. Maybe two of them, one going one way and one going the other way. You'll notice I kind of curve these lines because my Viking is curved. So he's got a big belly. His big belly is kind of going to be changing the general shape of his bandolier. His thing he's got on his back. Alright, should we give him short sleeves? Yeah, let's give him short sleeves. I don't know, that's funny to me. Vikings would wear short sleeves. It's freezing up in the tundra. It's Scandinavia and they're wearing short sleeves. Alright, coming on down here. I think I'll give him a bracelet or something. How about a spiked bracelet? That sounds like a fun thing to put on a Viking. I don't know if they actually wore spiked bracelets, but this Viking's gonna wear a spiked bracelet. A Viking who's into like punk fashion, I guess. I don't know. Go ahead and draw his other arm over here. If I'd have planned this out better, I would make him holding an axe or something, or a dagger there, but if I drew that, it would just cut right in front of him, and I don't think it would look very good, so maybe in my next Viking I'll make him armed. For right now, our Viking is just angry and malevolent and looks like he wants to attack. Once again, I'm only drawing some lines, not the others. And those lines that are left behind, they don't really take away from the character. They kind of add to it. This line right here kind of bugs me, because it cuts across a bunch of stuff, but I can go back and I can change it. I can distract from it. I can add texture to this bandolier right here, and it almost looks like that line that was cutting across was supposed to be there all along. Same thing over here. There's a line cutting across. If I just kind of do this texture, it's like, oh no, it kind of fits. And if you want, you can keep going with this texture in here, scrub in a little darkness, make your guy look hairy and worn. He's seen a lot of action, a lot of battles. So now, you don't even really see that line anymore. Hairy Viking. Hairy the Viking. You could, come down here and put little rips in his clothes, maybe a ragged edge to his boots. Actually, you know what I want to do? I'll go with my chisel tip. I'll give this guy some black pants. Like I said before when I did my pirate, it's okay to have sections of black, big heavy sections of black mixed in with a character who's mostly black and white, because it really helps make your character have more contrast, makes them pop, makes them stand out a little bit more. So find an area that you like and color it in black. If you don't want to give your Viking black pants like I'm doing, you could give your Viking black boots, or a black beard, or a black hat, or something. Okay, so there's a pretty angry Viking. Jeez, I'm scared of this guy. Let's go ahead and give him a little shadow and get out of here. There he is. He's ready to fight you and send you off to Valhalla. Alright friends, thanks for drawing a Viking with me today. I'll see you around.